Let's start seated. If you've got something soft to sit on, that will probably help. Lift yourself up a bit. I know the floors can be really hard. I've even got a rug under here and my butt still gets sore when I sit for a while. So just find a really comfortable seat.
I'm gonna put you on the big
As
picture.
comfortable as you can get it. And allow your sit bones to ground down. Allow your spine to rise up out of your sacrum and just float up into its natural curves. And then see if you can broaden your collarbone and let the shoulder blades slide down your back. And begin to take some nice deep breaths down into your belly. We'll start with a breathing exercise today, a little different from my favorite Dirga one. So this one, your left hand stays on your lap, some comfortable place. You can do palm down or palm up. And bring your right hand in front of your face. And you'll fold the index and middle finger down. And bring the thumb and the ring finger to each nostril, one to each nostril. Now, if this feels awkward, another thing you could do is take that index finger and middle finger and place them somewhere around the middle of your eyebrows. That may be kinder on your hand. But either way, the thumb and the ring finger lightly on the nostrils, not closing anything yet, but we're going to be doing some alternate nostril breathing. So we'll start with the thumb and ring finger lightly positioned, no pressure, no closing, and we'll just inhale deeply through both nostrils. And then exhale. And now press the thumb down to close the right nostril. Inhale through the left. 3, 2, 1. Now close the left nostril and open the right and exhale. 3, 2, 1. And keeping that left nostril closed, inhale through the right nostril. 3, 2, 1. And then close the right nostril and exhale through the left. 3, 2, 1. So that's one round. And now we'll inhale, start a second round. Inhale through the left nostril. 3, 2, 1. Exhale right nostril. 3, 2, 1. Inhale right nostril. 3, 2, 1. Exhale left nostril. 3, 2, 1. So you switch nostrils after every inhale. So we'll do a few rounds of this. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Close left nostril. Exhale right. 3, 2, 1. Inhale right. 3, 2, 1. Exhale left. 3, 2, 1. So continue on a few rounds on your own, closing after every inhale and adjusting the speed to whatever feels good to you in this moment. This is said to be calming and balancing left and right. And that left and right, people say it's the left and right nostrils, the left and right breathing paths, left and right brain, left and right body. There's a lot of interpretations of it, but I find it is kind of calming and settling. And next time you exhale out of your left nostril, just bring that right hand to rest on your thigh. No rush. And just take a few relaxed breaths and notice how you feel. You may need a tissue sometimes. Sometimes this clears the nostrils less, you know, and more, what do I want to say? Not metaphorical, in a real way. Okay. And we'll set up for our morning warm-up. Inhale to sweep the arms out wide, bringing them overhead, maybe taking an alternate side stretch or two, stretching one arm and then the other, sort of beginning to open up and wake up your body. And then exhale the hands back down. Inhale to sweep wide. This time we'll interlace the fingers. Notice which finger is in front so you can switch them up next time. And press your palms towards the ceiling. Maybe even pressing your heart up a bit. Maybe pressing your pinkies behind you. And then exhale to bring it back down. And inhale to sweep back up. And switching up which finger is in front, interlace your fingers, press them up to the ceiling. Find that stretch, pressing the heart up. And then exhale to bring them back down. Inhale to sweep up, grabbing the left wrist with the right thumb and middle finger. Extend that arm long. And then fold over to the right, pressing your ribs up towards where the ceiling meets the wall. So really pressing out through that side body. Keeping that left hip grounded if you can. It may want to come up off your mat. And then inhale to rise back up and release the arms down. And inhale to sweep them up again. This time grabbing the right arm with the left thumb and forefinger, stretching that arm nice and long before leaning over to the left. And coaxing the right sit bone down as you open up. Finding all that space. And then inhale to rise up and allow the arms to come down. And inhale, sweep up, turn to the left. And I'm going to offer a little variation I was playing with this morning that I liked. It's bringing the left hand behind you. Instead of putting the right hand on the outside of the right thigh, see what happens if you put it on the inside of the left thigh. So you've got more space between your shoulders and you're pressing with the back of the right hand into the right thigh. See if that gives you more of a stretch. Sometimes less twist gives you more stretch. I don't know. And breathe deep into the chest, expanding the chest, pressing the heart up. And then turn your chin towards the right shoulder to get a gentle twist in your neck. And this time, as we lift the left hand and bend over, we'll slide the right hand along the inside of the right thigh so that your elbow kind of comes to the knee. And find that opening that way. And then inhale to rise back up. Are you all hearing an echo?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I'm not sure what that is. Well.
You have your phone near your machine?
What?
Sometimes if your phone is near your Zoom, it can.
Oh, it is near my Zoom. Let's try that. I'm also wondering if when I went out and came back in, if I have two windows running. I don't know how to check that. Well, I think I'm not going to waste the time with finding it. Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Even with the echo?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so we'll inhale, sweep the arms up. this time turning to the right.
Sometimes it helps
Yeah.
sometimes it helps if we mute. So I'm gonna mute. Natalie, why don't you mute too? And
No,
then
Andy can mute us.
sometimes that helps, not always.
Okay, good idea.
And you don't mute though.
Yeah. No, I can mute you both from here.
Then we'll be in trouble. Oh wait, you muted yourself. You muted yourself.
All right, so maybe I don't do that.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll see if that does seem to be a little better. All right, so we'll inhale and sweep the arms up, this time turning to the right. Left hand comes behind you. Right hand comes behind you. Left hand is inside the left thigh and pressing out if you want to try it this way. If you didn't like it, you can bring the left hand over the right thigh. It's your practice. Pressing the chest up and around. And then inhale to sweep that right arm up as you bend your left ribs over the left thigh, sliding the left arm down so the elbow is pressing into the knee as you get that stretch. And then rising back up, I forgot to do the little neck stretch, so we'll do it now. Turning your chin towards your left shoulder. And then returning to center. So we'll come to hands and knees and do a few cat-cows. I have a little variation for that too this morning, something a little different. If you're interested, you're always your own choice. For this version that I'm going to show you, you do need to have your toes tucked. So the way it works is when you exhale, so inhale is still lifting the tailbone, broadening the collarbone, lifting the gaze. For the exhale, when you curl under, lift your knees like an inch off the mat, just hover them a bit as you crunch in your chin towards your pelvis. And then come back down. You see that gives you a little bit of an ab workout if that's of interest. Inhale to lift the tailbone, lift the collarbone. Exhale, pressing into cat pose, option to cover the knees. And bring them back down. Inhale, lift the tailbone, lift the collarbone, lift the gaze. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, optional knee hover. And inhale, lift the tailbone, lift the gaze. And then again, optional knee hover. And then coming back to stillness, to a neutral spine. We'll tuck the toes, press the hips back, pressing up into downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet, wag your tail. Maybe rock your weight forward onto your hands, almost like a plank, and then pressing back up into putting the weight in your feet. Just do what you need to do to inhabit your dog this morning. And then take a nice slow walk to the top of your mat. Landing in a forward fold. Feet together or slightly apart. And allow your head to dangle, maybe grabbing opposite elbows, swaying side to side. And then allowing your hands to return to the mat, begin to roll up, stacking vertebra on vertebra. Shoulders, neck, and head come up last, finding your Tadasana. And maybe take a few head rolls here, just gentle head rolls. Back and forth. And roll your shoulders forward, up, back, and down. And again. And then finding a nice mountain pose, feeling grounded, rocking a little back and forth, making sure you're in your special spot. We'll inhale to sweep the arms out and up, palms touch. Exhale to fold in half. Inhale, rising up to a long spine. Exhale, plant the hands, send the left foot back so you're coming into a long lunge. And then allow that left knee to come down to the floor. And then interlace your thumbs in front of your leg. So you're grabbing, your thumbs are holding each other. And on an inhale, we'll rise up, reaching forward to come up. And maybe pressing the palms back behind you, finding a nice stretch here. The thumbs can pull on each other a bit if that would feel good in your shoulders. Shoulders slide down your back, sinking just a little bit into that front hip, finding that arch. And then exhale to plant the hands, lift the left knee, step the right foot back to meet the left, and press up into downward dog. And then we'll inhale to lift the left leg high. Exhale, bend the knee, plant the foot alongside the left thumb as you sink the right knee down. Doing the same thing on this side, interlacing the thumbs and reaching forward and then up and back to come into a nice arch here. Maybe sinking a bit into that front knee, feeling that hip flexor opening on the right. And exhale to plant the hands down to frame up that left foot, lifting the right knee. We'll bring the right foot up alongside the left in a forward fold. Inhale to come up to a long spine. Exhale to fold and drape. Inhale to sweep the arms out and up. And exhale, hands through heart center, returning to Tadasana. We're going to do that whole thing on the other side. Inhale to sweep out and up. Exhale to fold in half. Inhale to come to a long spine. Exhale, plant the hands, step the right leg back and lower the knee. And then once again, thumbs find each other and sweep forward and up and back, coming into that lunge. Taking a breath here, pressing the heart up, shoulder blades slide down. And exhale to bring the hands down to the mat. Left foot steps back to meet the right, pressing up into downward facing dog for a beat. And then on your next inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale to bend the knee, plant the right foot alongside the right thumb as you lower the left knee to the ground. Thumbs find each other, sweeping forward, up and back, coming into this Anjaneyasana. Maybe sinking into that right hip as you open the left hip flexor. And on your next exhale, bringing the hands back to frame the right foot, lifting the left knee up, and step the left foot alongside the right, coming to a forward fold. And then inhale to sweep the arms out and up. And exhale, hands through heart center, coming to Tadasana. Inhale to sweep out and up. Exhale to fold in half. Inhale to a long spine. Exhale, plant the hands, step the left foot back. This time, spin the left heel down so that the left foot is parallel to the back of your mat. Your two heels are lined up, or maybe you've got heel to arch alignment. As you may suspect, we're coming up into Warrior Two. Stretch your left arm forward and allow it to windmill you up into your Warrior Two pose. Reaching out with the arms. Oops, losing my earbud. Gaze is over the front fingers. Finding a nice bend in your front knee. Just check down and see if your knee is more or less aligned with your maybe second toe or so it's not dumping in. You don't want to have any shearing effects on our knees here. And then inhale to straighten that front leg as you bring both arms up alongside your ears, facing the side of your mat. Your feet are still in Warrior Two position. Bend the right elbow and grab it with your left hand. And then pull your right elbow back so that you're coming into that kind of like a radiant warrior, but your elbow, you've got a hold of your elbow. So pressing up, the front knee is still bent, pressing up into, through the chest, towards where the ceiling meets the wall. Yeah, that looks really nice, everybody. And then straighten that front leg. So now you've got to stretch all the way up the right leg, up to the right elbow. Right palm is probably either between your shoulder blades or maybe grazing your left shoulder blade. And then letting go of that, returning to warrior two. And we'll straighten that front leg and press the right hip back as you extend the right arm forward as though you were going to lay your torso on a table. And then allow the right hand to drop to your shin or your thigh, wherever seat feels good today, just not your knee. And open up, finding Trikonasana, triangle pose. Maybe tuck your tailbone just a bit, feeling like you're dragging the right hip under the left hip. And finding length from your right hip out to your right shoulder. And then allow the left hand to lead to bring you back up to stand. And we'll bring hands to hips and spin the right foot to be parallel with the left. Inhaling here to a long spine. Exhale, fold in half. Or maybe slightly more, bringing your palms to the ground under your shoulders. And we're going to do a little mini skandasana back and forth. So we're going to bend that front knee, send the right hip back behind you as you walk your hands over towards that front foot. Does that make sense? And then straighten the front foot. Bend the left knee, send that left hip out behind you as you walk your hands over to the left foot. So hopefully you're feeling something in your inner thigh of the straight leg. So not the bent leg, but the straight leg. You may feel other things too. Inhale, straighten both legs, walk towards the right as you bend the right knee, sending the right hip back. And then coming back up, straightening both legs, beginning to bend the left knee, sending the left hip back, walking the hands over to the left foot. And then come back to center, finding that nice long spine. Inhale to bring your hands to your hips, and then finding a soft bend in the knee, rise back up. We will spin the heels in a little bit, coming to goddess pose. So with goddess pose, your feet are kind of at a 45-degree angle, roughly. You bend your knees. You want your knees and your feet more or less lined up so that your ankles are supporting your knees. So you may need to adjust the angle of your feet to suit your architecture. But just come to a squat here, a high squat, so that your knees are more or less lined up over your ankles. And we're going to bringing hands to the inside of the knees. So just to face this way. So your hands are just to the inside of your knees. Palms are on your thighs. Neck, back is nice and long. Neck is long. And just rock a little side to side. Just firing up those inner thighs. And then coming to stillness, we'll press into the right thigh with the right palm and bring the right shoulder towards the left knee. So you're bending off towards the side, finding a stretch in the right side of your body. And then inhale to come back up. And we'll begin to straighten the right arm, pressing the right hand into the, the left arm, pressing the left hand into the left thigh as you bend over towards the right, bringing your left shoulder towards your right knee. And then coming back up. And straightening right arm, bending right shoulder towards left knee. And one more, coming up, straightening left arm, bringing left shoulder towards right knee. And coming back up. And then we'll spin the feet back out, finding warrior two, front toes towards the top of the mat. Back foot is parallel to the back of the mat, sinking into that front knee. Arms extend, finding your long back. And then on an exhale, windmill the hands down. Step the left foot back to meet the right. Press up into downward facing dog. And then coming to the other side, inhale to lift the left leg high. Exhale, bend the knee, plant the foot alongside the left thumb. Spin the right foot down so that it is parallel with the back of the mat. As your left and your right and left heel are lined up, or maybe it's heel to arch alignment, extending the right arm long and in front and allow it to windmill up, bringing you to warrior two. And once you get up here, make any adjustments you need to make and spacing of your feet, find what feels good. Finding that nice bend in your front knee. Maybe tucking your tailbone just a tiny bit, imagining you're pointing your tailbone towards your mat. And then we'll inhale to straighten the front leg, bring the arms up alongside the ears. Front foot is still pointing towards the top of the mat. Bend the left arm about 90 degrees or more so the elbow is sticking up. And grab that left elbow with your right hand and pull it towards the back of your head as you lean over and reestablishing the bend in your front knee. So find this variation on warrior two, on radiant warrior actually. Pressing your heart up, finding that stretch in your tricep. And then straightening the front leg, bringing the arms out to a T. We'll press the left hip back as we extend the left arm forward, finding triangle pose. And opening up, heart and hips maybe feel like they're pressing forward a bit. Continue to press that left hip back as though you were going to tuck it under the right femur. And breathe here. Maybe you want to try a different gaze. Gaze down at your toes if you normally gaze up at your hand, or gaze up at your hand if you normally gaze down at your toes. And on your next inhale, allow the right arm to bring you back up to standing. Bringing hands to hips, we'll spin the left foot in so that the feet are parallel. Inhale to a long spine. Exhale to fold over, taking all that length with you. Finding a soft bend of the knee, as much bend as you need to plant your palms on the floor, roughly under your shoulders. And we'll try that Skandasana again. So begin to bend the right knee, sending the left hip back as you walk your hands over towards the right foot, keeping that long spine. And then on your next inhale, come back up, straightening the right leg, beginning to walk the hands over towards the left foot as you bend the left knee and send the left hip back. And then inhale to walk back over to the right, bending that knee, sending that hip back. And then on your next inhale, switching legs, coming to the left. And then returning to center, palms under shoulders, taking as deep a bend in your knee as you need to. We'll bring hands to hips and inhale to gently come up. And then bring the feet to goddess pose. So you'll rotate the heels in so that your feet are probably, I don't know, maybe 45-degree angle. Again, check the lineup with your knees. Your mileage may vary. And this time we're going to do a little different variation. Bringing hands to Jnana Mudra so that it's like an okay sign. The forefinger is tucked into the first fold of the thumb. Elbows are about shoulder height. We'll inhale and come to the right toe and sink into the right foot just a little bit. Exhale to release that heel. Inhale to lift the left heel, come to the left toe, sink into the left side a little bit. And exhale to release the heel. And we'll do a few more side to side, coming to the right toe and sinking into that hip. And coming back up. And then rising up on the left toe. And returning to center. Bringing hands to hips. We'll spin the feet out to warrior two configuration. Arms are long, back foot lined up with the back end of the mat. Finding all the length in your spine. And exhale, spin the windmill the hands down, framing up the left foot. Send it back to join the right. Sink the knees to the mat, bringing heels to hips. Take a moment here in child's pose. Allowing your body to integrate a bit what we did, see what you feel. Maybe gently rock your hips a little bit side to side. And then on your next inhale, press your hips skyward, coming into downward facing dog. And then we'll rise to the balls of our feet, bend the knees, gaze between the hands, step, hop, or float to a forward fold at the top of your mat. Allowing the head to dangle. Inhale to come to a long spine, pressing your palms against your shins to send that tailbone back as you send the crown of your head forward. And we're going to do a little something here to maybe counteract all the keyboarding that many of us have been doing. So we're going to bring our palms under our feet. This is Padahastasana pose. So lift your left foot so that you're maybe balanced on your heel, and slide the palm of your hand under your foot so the palm is facing up. It's facing towards the sole of your foot. Your toes ideally come all the way up to your wrist, and then press the foot down, and you'll do that on both feet. Get the palm under there as far as you can. Toes hopefully press into the wrist because then they can massage it, and then put your weight into the front part of your foot, so that you really can get a good massage into your hands, and just pedal your feet gently a little bit, maybe wiggle your toes, maybe rock a little back and forth, finding as much stretch and as much massage as you can in your hands and wrists. You may find I've got a little spot in my left wrist that is really enjoying this right now. And then on your next inhale, release your hands. We'll come to a long spine, pressing palms against shins. Exhale to fold and drape. Inhale to sweep out and up. And exhale, hands to heart center. And then we'll set up now here for a balance pose. We're going to come into tree with all the variations I like to give you. So just find your sweet spot for tree, rocking your feet a little back and forth, side to side. If you like to be near a wall or have a chair nearby or anything, if you want to challenge yourself with anything and you just want a prop handy, feel free to grab that. And pouring weight into the left foot, we'll come to the right toes and rest the right heel just above the left ankle, so your right knee is kind of pointed out. And then options are, of course, to bring the sole of your foot to the left calf or to the left thigh, just not to the knee, or leave it down where it is. Multiple arm variations. You can have hands on hips, hands at heart center. Your gaze can be, find a drishti, something that doesn't move, but you can also play with closing your eyes. We haven't done that in a while, so remember you can do that too, in which case you may want to just keep your toe on the ground. And so just take a few minutes and play. And once you're in position, if you want to try something else out, you can also play with extending your arms up like a tree, arms extend towards the ceiling, or you can do a little snake arm thing, a little movement. You can move your drishti around, lots of ways to challenge your balance here. Some days, just the simplest pose is enough challenge. So listen to your body. And remember to breathe. And notice if there's anything, any challenge, any stress you have that you can let go of. Anything going on between the shoulders, between the eyebrows, anything you don't need right now, any tension that you can just let go of. And then exhale to let go whatever you've got. Shake it out. And then returning to your sweet spot, we'll take the other side, bringing your weight to your right foot, coming to the left toes, or bringing the left foot up your right leg somewhere, just not on the knee. Finding your drishti, finding your hand position, and then go ahead and play. Noticing what's working in your body to hold you up. Feet are pretty obvious, but there may be some other more subtle muscles that you're noticing. Maybe something in your thigh or abdomen or who knows where. Noticing how this is different from the other side. Not to judge, just to notice. Noticing how different your balance can be just from one day to the next. And then exhale to let that go, shake it out. And then coming once again towards the top of your mat, in Tadasana. We'll sweep the arms out and up. Exhale to fold in half. Inhale to come to that long spine. Exhale to plant the hands, step back into plank, and line your chest up with your thumbs in a plank. Find a configuration that works for you, and begin to lower yourself slowly down. Knees can come first if that works. You can also just come down as a plank very gently. And then we're going to be setting up for Shalabhasana, locust pose. Feet are long, tops of toes are pressing into the mat. Feet are no wider than hips width apart. Your chin or your forehead may be on the ground. Palms are down on the ground, arms long alongside your hips. And then on an inhale, begin to lift your chest. Neck is long, gaze is down. Lift your legs. Feeling all that space. Shoulders roll back on your back. Option to interlace your hands behind your back to open the chest a little more, keeping that long neck. Breathing here. Noticing what it would take to bring your chest and your legs up just another centimeter. And then exhale, allow everything to come to the mat, bringing one cheek to the mat, rocking your hips back and forth. We'll do another Shalabhasana, option to reach back and grab your ankles for this one if you would like. All the other options are also on the table. So inhale to press down with the pelvis as you lift up with the chest, pressing the shins towards the back of the room to open your heart, pressing shoulder blades together, neck is long, gaze is down towards your mat. And then noticing here what it would take to come up just a little bit higher. What do you have to do that? Breathing still, hopefully. And then exhale to let it go, bringing the other cheek to the mat. Maybe windshield wipering your feet side to side, rocking your hips, whatever is calling out to you in this moment. And then rolling over onto your back, we'll take a couple of bridge poses. If you have a block or some books that you want to use for supportive bridge, that is also, of course, an option. Or even a rolled up blanket or towel can give you a little bit of a supported bridge feeling. So bringing the soles of your feet to the mat, roughly about, if you extended your fingers, your fingertips may brush your heels, but it really depends on proportions. Find a place that feels really grounded so you can push up. Feet should be no wider than your hips. And then think about what arm configuration you want. If you're going to hold the sides of your mat, or if you're going to do robot arms or interlace your hands underneath, a lot of options there. And then on an inhale, press down with your feet, lifting your sacrum up, rolling the spine up, creating an arc of length from your collarbone all the way down to your knees, really, as you press the chest forward towards the wall that's beyond your head. Finding the hand configuration you like. You can even, if it's accessible, wrap your hands around your ankles. Just find what works for you this morning, breathing here. And then again, thinking about what would it take to bring the arch of your spine up towards the ceiling, maybe another ½ an inch or centimeter. What would that take? And on your exhale, gently rolling down from shoulders to sacrum. Windshield wipering the knees side to side. And we'll take one more bridge, all options on the table, all hand configurations, grabbing ankles or not, supported bridge 2. Pressing up on your inhale, finding all that length from your collarbone to your knees, pressing the chest forward towards the wall beyond your head, finding the hand configuration, shoulders also pressing into the mat. So you're really grounding down from your feet, the soles of your feet and your shoulders. And breathing here, noticing if there's any tension anywhere, any compression that you can let go of, that you don't need to hold this pose. And then exhale to roll back down. Windshield wipering your knees. And then as you're ready, come up to sit. We'll take a couple of seated poses. Option to sit up on something if that would feel good, a folded blanket. I'm going to take a folded blanket, a block if you have it, a rolled up towel, pillow, whatever you got. And we'll extend the legs long, flexing the feet, palms on the mat beside you, shoulders roll back onto your back. And we'll just take a few breaths here in Dandasana. So chest is forward and up, chin slightly tucked, feet flexed, and just breathe here. And then on your inhale, bend the right leg and hop the right foot over the left thigh. We're setting up for half Lord of the Fishes pose, Ardha Matsyendrasana. And holding the right leg with the right hand, lift the left arm high, extending your spine long, extending the arm long. And two options here. You can come around and grab that right knee with your left elbow and then bring the right hand behind you, or you can hop the left elbow over the right knee, whatever allows you to get a better twist for now. And in this twisted pose, think about pressing the ball of your right foot into the mat. Think about inhaling to lengthen the spine, exhaling to broaden the collarbone, find that twist. Maybe you lead with your gaze looking off to the wall to your right behind you. Continuing to breathe. Finding length with inhales, finding more twist with exhales. And then exhale to let that go. Extending the right leg long to meet the left, popcorning the knees a bit. And we'll set up for the other side, bending the left leg, hopping the left foot over to the other side of the right leg. Maybe holding on to the left leg with the left hand as you extend your right hand high, finding all that length on the right side, and then bring that right arm around to grab the left knee with the elbow as the left hand comes behind you. Option to hop the right elbow over the knee if that works better in your body. The right foot is flexed. Ball of the left foot presses into the mat. As you inhale to lengthen and exhale to twist. Breathing here. Can you broaden your collarbones just a centimeter? Notice where your breath is going. A couple of more breaths here. And on your next exhale, let that go. Legs come long, popcorn the knees. And then one last seated pose, bringing the soles of your feet together in Baddha Konasana. Yogi's choice, whether you want to have more of a diamond shape or whether you want your feet closer to your perineum. It's just a slightly different stretch. One's not better than the other. Finding your comfortable distance, and then thinking about your hands. Do you want them interlaced, making a nest for your feet? Do you want to hold your feet open like a book? Do you want to interlace your fingers and toes? And once you've got your grip, inhale to lengthen the spine. And exhale to gently fold over, allowing the head to drop, allowing the spine to curve. Everything relaxes. Elbows can come outside your shins, or you can tuck them inside the folds of your legs. Just curling into yourself here at the end of practice. And breathing. Noticing what feelings come up, what thoughts. Notice them and let them go. Are there any last places you want to send breath in this pose? And is there any place in your body you could let go of? Or maybe you have tension you don't need. Elbows, shoulders, forehead. And then inhale to rise up. Setting up now for Shavasana. If there's any layers you want to put on, if there's any blankets you want to lay out on your mat or have handy to lay on your belly or anywhere else that would feel good. Find all the things you need. And then take any last poses. If you want to hug your knees up, if you want to do a happy baby, whatever your body is calling for at this point. And then as you're ready, allow your body to sink down into the mat, finding the most comfortable pose you can, the most comfortable distance between your feet, distance from arms to torso, to allow everything to relax, to allow the shoulders to relax, to allow the sacrum to relax. Allowing the back of your body to heavy down into your mat. And then allowing the front of your body to sink into the back of your body. Maybe a gentle turn side to side of the head to let go, get the neck to let go. And then off you go into Shavasana. So I have a poem to share with you this morning. This is by Jonathan Green, and it's called The Return. We are heartened when each year the barn swallows return. They find their old nests, teach their young to fly, lining up on the barn roof for their first flight. They remind us, for now, some rituals of this good earth continue. So as you begin to bring awareness back to your breath, find some small movements in your extremities. Maybe fingers and toes wiggle, maybe ankles and wrists. Maybe you roll your head back and forth on the mat, giving your neck a little last love. And as you're ready, bring your knees into your chest for a hug. Rocking back and forth on your sacrum, maybe drawing circles with your knees. And then when you're ready, roll to the side of the floor that invites you, taking a moment in fetal position. Maybe starting to feel a little bit of the work you've done today. Feeling appreciation for your body, for your health, for what is still working in this crazy time, for your paycheck maybe. And as you're ready, begin to press up into a comfortable seat. Eyes can be closed, or you can bring a soft gaze, whatever feels good. Allowing the shoulder blades to slide down your back as your spine lengthens up. And we'll close practice today with the sound of one Om. You're welcome to chant along or listen to the vibrations. Hands can stay on your thighs, or you can bring your palms up to cover your heart, or you can bring thumbs to heart center. Tucking the chin, bowing in reverence to your heart. We'll inhale deeply. Exhale to let it go. Inhale for Om. Bowing forward to seal in your practice. The light in me honors the light in you. The teacher in me honors the teacher in you. The student in me honors the student in you. Namaste. Okay,